Welcome to our brief overview of risk management with Sarah Kelly, Deputy Director. All forms and policies that we talk about can be found online. We are going to define risk management for the purpose of this interview as protecting the things that we hold important by identifying and then managing threats that could severely impact the organization and our reputation, because we definitely want a positive and healthy reputation in the communities that we serve. The areas that we are going to overview as we define important are our youth, volunteers, money, and possessions. We, of course, want to protect all our Ruritan members, Ruritan student members, youth and Ruritan-sponsored scout troops, Little League teams, and all other youth we sponsor from crimes of commission. And that is when a person does something against the law. They act or commit child abuse, neglect, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, but also from crimes of omission. And that is when a person fails to act when he or she is required to act. That is our responsibility also. Therefore, we follow Ruritan National's Child Abuse and Protection Policy. The summary of that policy is: one-on-one situations of an adult with a child should be avoided as reasonably feasible. Avoid potential child abuse issues by having at least 3 people present at all times. The purpose of this policy is to provide a safe and caring environment in all aspects of the Ruritan program for the youth, and also to protect members from situations where there is potential from being accused of abuse. It is recognized that there will be occasions when one-on-one situations are unavoidable, and if that is the case, written permission of the parent guardian should be obtained. However, all Ruritans should, whenever possible, avoid such situations with youth. Before taking pictures of youth, members should have completed a photo release form for each youth. Please respect the families that do not wish to have their youth photographed. And even with a signed release form, do not put photos of youth on web pages that identify their names or locations of that youth. Finally, we need to have a careful selection of adults that will work with our youth. Being a parent or a youth leader in another organization does not mean they're qualified to be a youth leader with Ruritan. We have a responsibility to make sure that the person is suitable. Background checks, such as Secure Volunteer, are available under the Benefits section on our website. But the least you can do and should do would be to check the Sex Offender Registry. Ruritan is committed also to providing an environment that is free of discrimination and unlawful harassment. Actions, words, jokes, or comments based on an individual's sex, race, national origin, ethnicity, age, weight, disability, religion, or any other legally protected characteristics will not be tolerated. Not only because it is the law, but because it is good and right. Our motto is fellowship, goodwill, and community service. We want to be an organization of inclusion rather than exclusion. We want to be an organization where members of our community want to participate and feel welcome. Are we truly a cross-section of the communities in which we serve? The law that I mentioned, that's Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, as amended by state and local laws. It prohibits discriminatory treatment on the basis of race, color, sex, religion, national origin, age, disability, or other protected activity under anti-discrimination statutes. Discrimination and harassment can be both verbal or physical. It can be overt or subtle. It is typically defined by the recipient of the action, the person who is being offended. If you feel that you are being unfairly treated or harassed or discriminated against, please report the behavior immediately to club leaders, district leaders, national board members, executive committee, or the executive director. We want everyone to feel comfortable within their clubs and communities. If you do come forward, please know that you will not be retaliated against. We have a whistleblower protection policy. This not only covers areas of discrimination, but also unethical behaviors. Our confidentiality policy prohibits the sharing of sensitive or confidential information. We don't share personal, identifiable information with non-members. If a non-member asks for contact information, we do not provide that information. We then ask our member to contact the non-member. When talking about protecting our money, transparency is key. All members should know your financial standing. The more open and honest you are with your finances, the better. It isn't your money. Because it isn't your money, has your board and membership all agreed on the budget? Is there an agreement on how your money is going to be spent? And once the money is spent, do you have an audit process in place? It is mandatory for all levels of Ruritan to have their accounts audited. If your district or club has money invested in the market, you need to have an approved investment policy statement. This statement is the agreed upon way that instructs investment advisors how the money can be invested. This statement sets up criteria and can have a list of investment types that may or may not be allowed. Finally, we protect our possessions, and most would consider this our buildings. Regardless if you have a building or not, Ruritan National maintains a general liability insurance policy for our clubs to cover normal club activities, events, such as meetings, community service, and fundraising activities, including concession stands, food sales, etc. Please check the website, though, for a list of activities and events that are excluded, and also on how to obtain a certificate of insurance. If you own a building or property, there's a good chance you rent it out or let others use it. To help reduce the risk when you do, please consider using a contract, regardless if money is involved or not. To help look at all the areas of the property for issues that may cause problems or harm, Ruritan National has provided an extensive checklist called the Loss Prevention Worksheet. It's very thorough and very good. Thank you for listening today. And in conclusion, most risk can be avoided or reduced with a good, healthy dose of common sense. Thank you for all you do for your communities, and have a wonderful day.